Hey y'all, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Jennifer with True to You Yoga, and today we are going to start at the top of our mat in mountain pose. In mountain, your feet are hip width apart, or you can have your big toes together and your heels slightly apart, whichever feels more stable for you. They are parallel to each other. Ground down through your toes and your heel. Lift the instep of your foot up, sucking that mat up. Engage your quads by lifting your knees. Drop your tailbone towards the floor. Zipper up your abs, nice and tight, so then it's a nice 360 around your core. Your shoulders, roll them up and down the back, so then your shoulder blades glide down your spine. Your palms are going to flip forward towards the front of the room. Lots of energy running through you, and your chin will be parallel to the floor with energy coming all the way from your spine, all the way out the top of your head, and just kind of back it up a little bit and stack it. Let's take a few breaths here to begin our practice today. Inhale, filling up your belly, your lungs, all the way up to your collarbones, and a big exhale. Release all that air. Inhale, filling all the way up, and exhale through your mouth. Sigh it all out. One more time on your own, just releasing all of the worries and stresses of the day. On your next inhale, soak your arms up overhead. Exhale, palms together, hands glide down through heart center. Inhale, arms up overhead. Reach tall, like I've got your hands and I'm pulling you up towards the ceiling, but drop your shoulders down in the process because we don't want any shoulder earrings through our stretch. You can give a slight back bend in your upper back. And then exhale, let's go ahead and swan dive down towards the floor, keeping your back flat as we bend forward. When we're in our forward fold, you can have your blocks in front of you if you want, or you can put your hands on your quads, your knees, your shins, wherever works for you. Rock forward a little bit so then your weight transitions into your toes and it's not all in your heels. Engage your abs as we're in this flat back. Your spine is long. You're doing kind of a slight back bend in your upper back, and your head is parallel to the floor, so your chin is actually perpendicular to the floor. Taking you back to geometry class. And then inhale, let's go ahead and put our head, the crown of our head towards the floor. I'm going to exhale and sweep our arms back up nice and tall. Hands float down to heart center. Take your left leg. We're going to step it back into high lunge. So your toes are on the floor, your left toes, and your left ball of your foot, your heel is lifted. You're going to take your right knee and stack it over your right heel. Your lunge can be lower, so then it is more of a 90 degree in your front leg, or it can be higher. Whatever option is best for you today, be sure and take that option. Don't work outside of where is comfortable. Bend your back knee just a little bit so then you can find that length, and drop your tailbone down to the floor, zipper up your abs, and then start to straighten that back leg up. You can have your hands on your hips for first, and then check that, and if you need to do a slight adjustment, so then your hips are kind of in a neutral position, so draw your right hip back and your left hip forward. And keep your hands on your hips for first. And then inhale, arms up overhead, and we're going to exhale, bend your elbows and slowly start to glide them down like the wall behind you, imaginary wall. So it's like a cactus arm or goalpost. You're here, both of those, with a slight bend in your upper back. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And then on your next exhale, go ahead and step forward with that left foot back into mountain pose. Check your stance. Make sure your feet are grinding down. Your tailbone is dropped. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive down towards the floor. The crown of your head pointed towards the floor. Let's just hang out here for a minute. If you want, you can grab opposite arm and elbow and do a little ragdoll. Keep pulling your abs up though to help protect your lower back. Hands down towards the floor if you've got them in a ragdoll. Inhale, half lift. It's that long spine. Your hands can either be on your legs or on your blocks. Abs are engaged. Slight back bend in your upper back. And exhale, head back down towards the floor. Inhale, arms up overhead. From here, exhale your hands back through to heart center. We're going to take our right leg back for that high lunge. So your right toes are ground down into your mat. Your left heel is lifted. Bend that back leg just a little bit so then your tailbone can drop. Your hands can be on your hips. Then slowly starting to straighten that back leg. You can kind of scooch that back foot back if you need to a little bit. And then keep your left knee over your left heel. Check your hips again. So then your right hip is pulling forward and your left hip is back. Engage those abs, zipper it all the way up. And then inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale into those cactus arms again. So your arms are bent, your fingers are spread wide. Opening up your chest. A little bit of a back bend. Inhale, arms back up overhead, and exhale, step that right foot back forward into mountain pose. Check your positioning again. Make sure everything looks good. Take a deep breath. Slow down your heart rate just a little bit. This time we're going to inhale our arms up overhead, and then we're going to exhale into chair pose. In chair, just start to sink your bottom back like you're trying to find a chair behind you. You can place your hands on your tops of your legs and your quads to give you a little bit of support as you learn your chair pose and get more comfortable in it. You rock your weight back just a little bit so your toes can kind of come up if they would need to. Engage your abs all the way down from your pelvic floor all the way up. Zip it up. Engage all that. Your spine is long and your head is in line with your spine, so you're not cranking it all around. We got to keep that neck safe. Your knees are directly over your heels. Everything is parallel. If you have a block, you can take it and place it in between your upper thighs if you'd like. You're going to think about taking your upper thighs and spinning them back, and your outer thigh is going to spin forward. Just energetically think about that. And keep your hips parallel. Keep all that neutral. If you have that block, you can go ahead and move it. And we're going to inhale, standing up, arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward. Crown of your head towards the floor. Release everything down. Inhale, flat back. Just take a few breaths here. I like to feel that stretch all the way through my spine. And exhale, head towards the floor. Inhale, arms up overhead, and exhale, hands to heart center. Deep breath here. Slow down your heart rate. Take your left foot, and we're going to step it behind you, opening it up to the side. So the left foot is going to be parallel to the back of your mat. Your right heel is going to intersect the back of your left foot on the inside of it, your instep. So they are perpendicular to each other. Bend your right knee. Make sure it's stacked over your heel. Your left leg is straight. You're going to engage your abs and all again, of course. And your hips don't really open up to the side. Quite often, Warrior Two, you hear people say open your hips out to the side mat. That is really hard on most people. So kind of being at a little bit of a diagonal is going to be best for you more than likely. If you're ready, you can bring your arms out straight to your sides. Lots of energy coming throughout all of your body. Lifting up tall like there's a string, pulling your spine long. Deep breaths here. Your gaze can be over your front fingers, or if it's easier for your neck, you can just be looking out to the side. One more breath. Engaging your back leg. Step your left foot forward. We're going to go back to mountain pose. Check your alignment. Give a little shaky shake if you need to. Inhale and drop your bottom back into that chair pose again. Just pushing into your quads to help lengthen out your spine. Check your hips. Roll those inner thighs back and outer thighs forward. Engage all the way from your pelvic floor, all the way up through your front of your abs, your lower back, your obliques. Nice long spine. And as you become more comfortable, you can sit back a little further, a little bit deeper into that chair. Make sure that spine stays long though. And inhale, arms up overhead. Let's exhale and twist to our right. Drop your right arm towards the back and your left arm goes toward the front. So they're in a T shape. And you're going to twist through your upper body, throughout your upper back. Work to keep your hips kind of pointing towards the front of your mat again. Inhale, arms up overhead. And exhale, let's go to our left. So our left arm goes back, our right arm goes forward into that T shape again. Twisting through our upper back. Our hips are staying forwards. Keep those abs tight. Inhale, back up and exhale. Let's swan dive forward. Crown of the head towards the floor. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms up overhead, and exhale, hands to heart center. We're now going to do that warrior two on your other side. So take your left foot, kind of put it in the middle of the mat. Your right foot's going to step back. So your foot, the edge of your foot is parallel to the back of your mat. Your right heel is perpendicular to your right foot. Sink down wherever is comfortable for you, watching your heel and knee alignment. Again, you can check your hips. They don't need to be completely open because that is going to rotate quite a bit on most people's hip joints and it can cause some problems later on in life, which I don't want for you. Go ahead and you can keep those hips at a little bit of an angle then. Engage all of that back leg throughout your quad, your hamstring, and your glute. Think about taking your inner thigh and kind of rotating it back. If you're ready, you can bring your arms up long into that T shape. Fingers spread wide, lots of energy running through your body. That line of energy running from your tailbone all the way up your spine and out the top of your head. And let's take a few deep breaths here. Next exhale, step that right foot forward, back into mountain pose. You need to take a little bit of a breather, a little shaky shake. And let's inhale back down into our chair pose. If you would like on this one, your next option would be to bring your hands to heart center, pressing those palms together, and then just sink that bottom back just as much as is comfortable for you. Remember your alignment, so then your spine is long, your head is in line with the spine and not cranking up. Your inner thighs are spinning back and your outer thighs forward. Engage your glutes, your hamstrings, your quads, especially your abs to keep your lower back safe. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, let's do a cactus arm right here. A little bit of a back bend and upper back. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward. Just relax it all and let it all hang. You can do the opposite hand to opposite elbow again. And just kind of sway your upper body right and left. If you find a sticky spot, go ahead and hold it there. And hands to the floor. Inhale, half lift. Think long spine. Try to really pull out from that waist. Exhale, hands to the floor. And just take your right leg, or your right or your left leg, step it back, knee to the ground, and then follow with the other one, so then you're in tabletop. From tabletop, let's push our bottom back with our knees wide if that's comfortable for you. And we're going to sink into a child's pose. In child's pose today, let's take our block and put it on the floor in front of us so that our head comes to resting on the block. Your hands are in front of you again. You can just have a little bend in your elbows so they're a diamond shape. Breathe deep. Sigh it all out. Holding your different standing poses, like your high lunge and your warrior two, will help to get your heart rate up between that, and then also the little some breaths that we did with the inhale, arms up, the exhale, swan dive, your half lifts. So you will feel that heart rate increase even though you're not out running around, jumping like a crazy person or anything like that. Walk your hands in as you sit up. Let's go ahead and tuck our toes under us for that toe stretch. If you need to, reach back and help tuck all of them, especially the little baby toe under. And then just slowly start to push some weight back into your toes. Stretch out all of the bottoms of the feet. Rock your weight forward. And then we are going to go ahead and bring our legs around in front of us. Reach your right leg long, straight in front of you, and your left sole of your foot is going to press into your right quad on the inside of your leg. Engage your right leg. So your knee is lifted. That's going to engage your quad. But make sure that your heel is still on the floor and you're not engaging it so much that your heel is up. So heel down, your toes are pulled back towards you. And then if you have a strap, you can take your strap around the sole of your foot. And you're going to sit up nice and straight, lots of length in your spine. And then just slowly come forward, your belly towards your quad. Back is long, and only come forward what's comfortable for you. We aren't so much concerned about just if we can get our head to our knee. We're working that stretch all the way down our back and in through our hamstring. Slowly start to come back up. You have the strap, release that strap, and let's switch to the other side. So our left leg is long. Your left toes are flexed towards the ceiling, pull them back towards you. Your right sole of your foot is on the inner of your left leg. You have that strap. Again, it can go around your foot. Sit up nice and tall, out of your seat, out of your pelvic floor region, and then slowly start to drop forward. Again, think belly towards your thighs, not head to your knees. Keep that leg engaged. Spine is long. and come back up. Move your strap on out of the way, and we are going to roll back for our Shavasana. Bring your hands behind your thighs and just slowly start to glide them down as you go down onto your back. Once you're on your back, you can spread your legs long and you let your feet flap open. You can also, if you'd like to today, bend your knees so then your feet are on the floor, and put your feet out about the edges of your mat and let your knees just fall together. You still want to go ahead and you want to tuck your tailbone down and lengthen it. Glide your shoulder blades down your back, and your palms will be flipped up towards the ceiling. If you're comfortable today and you feel safe, you can go ahead and close your eyes. Let's take a couple big deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. Sigh it all out through your mouth. Inhale. Exhale. Do it again on your own, feeling the air all the way from your pelvic floor, all the way up through your abdomen as it starts to engage and expand, like there's a balloon in there, up into your lungs, and then all up into your collarbone. Fill it all up, and then whenever you exhale, feel it release from your collarbone all the way through your lungs, your abdominal region, and down into your pelvic floor. With each exhale, feel yourself sink even farther into the mat, relaxing, let everything go. Enjoy this time of calmness and stillness. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Roll out your ankles and your wrists a little. Roll over onto your right side. Using your right arm to prop your head up, your left hand in front of you. Thank yourself for the time you spent today on your practice. Next exhale, gently start to push yourself up into easy seat. Easy seat, place your hands on your knees if it's comfortable for you, or you can place them in your lap. We're going to take a few deep inhales and exhales with our box breath. For a reminder, box breath is when you inhale, pause, exhale, and pause all in the same count. I'm going to let you do it on your own after the first round of a 2 count. So it's inhale, pause, exhale, and pause. You can extend that to a 3 count, a 4 count, whatever is best for you. Some days a 2 might be good. Some days you might be able to do a 5. It just, a lot of it depends on where you are in your life at that particular moment of the day. So let's do a few rounds on our own. You can gently close down your eyes if you'd like during this. Keeping a nice tall spine. And if you need to place something under your bottom to keep that tall spine, feel free. our next inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale with your palms together. Go ahead and glide them down to heart center in prayer position. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Please give me a like, a subscribe. Check out my website at truetoyouyoga.com. Let me know what you'd like more of, what you didn't like. If there is something in particular you're looking for, please let me know so I can do a future video on it. Thank you again so much. May you always stay true in your intentions, true to your heart's desire, and speak loving truth to those around you. Love ya.